There's certain moments with people, and I've been doing this for a long period of time, where I see these athletes when they're playing, cover them when they're playing, and then later in life, when they pass away or they have children who are then playing in the major leagues. We're seeing that with Craig Biggio or Vlad Guerrero. You get to see somebody, Howie Long, and then you have his son Chris Long, who comes through and spends 11 years and his career is already over. To be able to see Bart Starr and watch him when I was, in my teens, younger than that, to watch the Green Bay Packers, and then to see him after he's done and get into the Hall of Fame and being a coach and then struggling with his health and then passing away. When you look at the Super Bowl era, you have people who think that the NFL started in the Super Bowl era. But Bart Starr was the quarterback for the Packers, and they were fighting, with the Cleveland Browns for superiority. The Browns were a great team back then. And then all of a sudden, when Lombardi got in there, and it took them a little while, and they got started, and they ended up winning the first 2 Super Bowls. But you look back, and Bart Starr benefited greatly for the timing of being on those first 2 Super Bowl champion teams, because I believe he was the MVP for both of those, and he was the quarterback for the Packers when they won the first 2. And that helped his legacy, because if I said, the quarterbacks who won NFL championships prior to the Super Bowl, it doesn't have the same endorsement. The Super Bowl helps validate you. The reason why Troy Aikman is in the Hall of Fame is because of 3 Super Bowl wins. Bart Starr is in there because of 2 Super Bowl wins. Bob Greasy is in there because of the Super Bowl and going 17-0. The Super Bowl validates quarterbacks, and Bart Starr benefited from that. Johnny Unitas, to me, was the first passing quarterback, the first truly great quarterback I saw. And he was a better quarterback than Bart Starr because he was the guy who invented the 2-minute drill. He was a great passer. Bart Starr was a field leader. And I know that's lost on people. And that's why Alex Smith always gets upset because I call him, he's a field general. He kind of manages a game. That's really hard to do, believe it or not, because a lot of guys just throw the football. To be able to call your own plays, manage a game, feel, something is shifting here, momentum, or, I need to get the ball to that player. That's what Bart Starr did. That's what quarterbacks used to do. They were able to, there was nuance to that, and he called his own plays for Vince Lombardi. And that's a long time ago, folks. Long time ago, in the late 60s, he's calling his own plays. But David Moranis wrote the book on Lombardi, and we thought he would be great as a sounding board on just who Bart Starr really was, what Bart Starr really was. Because going back with those Packers, they had some personalities, and they had some guys who liked to burn the midnight oil. And here's Bart Starr, who was as straight as can be. Grew up in a military background, went to Alabama, but he was the right guy for Lombardi. Joe Namath wouldn't have been the right guy for him. Bart Starr was the right guy for him. And Bart Starr passing away over the weekend.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.